good or not, I don't know. And I want to add in one thing.
Go.
A Cruise team
Yes.
up against an Americas team in the early stages of a tournament. Somewhere out there, Finesse is panicking.
Well, let's see if Talon taste as good as they smell. That sounded differently in my head. Leviathan on the defensive side for pistol round. A lot of investment. We got Sheriffs and Ghosts with Mazzino, one of the highlight players for me. This guy stands out in the stats. I saw your tweet, Tom, and that's for sure. This composition from Talon, it might be able to put Lev on the back foot.
Already, we know this man's going to end up sitting at the top of the scoreboard.
Portal closed.
It's just whether or not there's anyone on the other side who can stop him. Primmy's the man we've been looking at, but taking that initial fight, well, it is going to be Primmy to get the kill. Trade is there, and now King steps up, leaving just a couple to try and stand, make it just one. Jip Boy's on the wrong side of the map, plenty of time. And okay, that was a nice shot. A couple more of those, he might have a chance.
Yeah, listen, a few players are low, but that drop out of Hookah is deadly, and they're all stacked up, ready to take the fight clean in the late stage of the round. Leviathan up 1-0. The pistol is theirs, but when the rifles come out, this Yoru from Primmy, I'm very excited for what it can do. Cause them to stay in the back lines and maybe, yeah, like I said, put them on the back foot, but this probably isn't the round where we'll see that.
Yeah, it's interesting. It seems like this round, at least, they had Cruz lurking on the other side of the map on the Omen. Like, we see that sometimes with the controller. Basically putting him into position to maybe try and throw a fake in or something like that. So we have to see how that continues throughout. I also like that we've seen a couple of sort of role switches. We had Mazzino, I believe, in the past playing that Brimstone, and to bring in the Sky, him on the Sky, they've actually swapped things up a little bit. Again, seconds into the round, it's going to be Aspas with another opener. And I don't blame them for avoiding the sniper and going back the other way.
Yeah, look, you got no shields. There's no point fighting an outlaw in general. And when it's in the hands of Aspas, yeah, definitely look for the other side of the map. Weaker weapons do await them there. But again, the dropout, always going to be dangerous. Someone like a Neon could definitely close the distance, but now that's not an option. We'll look to Primmy to try to find that space. Sky flash out, and they've dropped. Already getting pretty close. Now the danger is certainly there for Calm. He's not even able to grab the one. Overwhelmed by the numbers on the site. A plant secured, a small upgrade for Talon. The plant to be secured now. Better position. It looks like they'll try to fight Mazzino for long control.
Spike planted.
Yeah, I was about to say, heal, get back up to a decent position. The problem is that none of that weaponry has been retrieved. But it's also, other than that sniper, a relatively low investment in this round. Rifles not available for the side of Leviathan. I don't imagine that they expected there was ever going to be a plant in this round. Primmy going to try and play up close. We've heard a lot about this guy and what he can do, but this was not the time for it, unfortunately. And now they're all just going to get slaughtered. One man standing, and the last man gone as well.
Well, that was certainly set up to be a very difficult retake, trying to fight their way back through. You saw a little bit of caution from Leviathan, playing anti-flash, waiting for the re-execute of Talon, but I guess the attacker's game plan, grouping up, healing, and then taking that 3v1 it would have been on B-Long, just disrupted by the fact that Leviathan grouped 2 in spawn, 2 in hookah, retake nicely. But look, getting the plant down at least, getting the 1 kill, it doesn't end up coming through for any real economy damage. Leviathan are pretty healthy when it comes to those credits, but here come the rifles for Talon, and we're going to get to see the real game plan behind these agents. Again, you have a Yoru, you have a Neon, the ability to quickly turn the tide of a fight that you set up is there. The only question is if they can find success against a squad of this caliber.
Hello. Immediate push through Governor. He's going to run into 2 players, though. Very much solo, very much away from the rest of the team, and that's the one rifle. That's something I want to mention. Aspas has now bought into a Vandal. He's chucked his sniper over to Tex, but they're still playing with SMGs. Normally nowadays you don't see this hard a bonus round. You have teams like having 3, 4 rifles.
Yep.
So this is a round that Talon can't afford to lose. It would be such a boost to the economy of their opponents.
Yeah, the free upgrades would be there, as they already have been in part. Kings recovered that Vandal, and now Talon 4 versus 5. Slightly better weapons for Leviathan, a little bit of damage done, but it's Jip Boys down to 30. A little bit of heal to come through. They've at least secured themselves 1 kill, but off that pick, they're not quick enough to take the site control. Leviathan have rotated in, and by the time they go for this hit, and Tom, it does look like they're still going to go for this hit. There's going to be 3 players waiting on site, 2 rifles as well. This is not an easy take by any metric, and Jip Boys has gone down ahead of the take. Now Aspas is farming on the site, 4 already, dropped by by Primi and left to a 1v1. Already a successful bonus and a chance for a little bit more with Tex on the Outlaw.
Tex is playing it patient though. All in all, a pretty successful round already for the side of LEV, but at this stage, you still got your sniper. You're gonna sit there and hope that you can take this one over the line. Flash is gonna give the game away, and he's teleported quite far from the site. And he's not got enough time. Oh, no. Oh dear.
Well, they've won their bonus round, Tom.
Oh dear, that's not good.
Dizzy, the MVP of this round. You know, Panic? Panic, I guess, I assume?
Hey, he's fairly new. We'll give Primi a break. He's only come in very recently for this squad. He's only been on the Pacific stage a few times.
Second game of Yoru, but I'm sure he's played it a lot in rank. That is a disappointing way to lose out in the round. You can see Leviathan's coaching staff, Itapata, having a little laugh at the end. That's a relief of a round handed to Leviathan, and now 3-0, a phenomenal start. Sure, they don't get to save over all those weapons. It wasn't flawless by any stretch of the imagination, but they will be happy with what they've acquired. Showstopper online for Aspis after a big round in the last. Here's Yoru taking control over Lamps. Nade greets him, and he's down to 7. He already tagged heavy. That's going to give a good chance for Aspis to delete him later on with the Outlaw.
The goal will be for Talon to try and get into some of these closer range positions. Aspas, he seems well aware of what Cruz has attempted. And just with the amount of delay they currently have, in fact, look at where the Leviathan players are, never mind, look at where they were. Jip Boys has managed to already drop 2, and this round now looks doable.
It does, with Aspis on 8 HP especially. Even that Showstopper might not be able to be used. He'll be shot out of the sky with just the 1 bullet, and he was almost wall-banged out of the round. They know that King's around this position. The bait doesn't work. Governor's now trapped in a corner, worried about the peek out from Heaven, and King soon to look for that kill. Orbital strike to push him into the open. Leviathan feeling confident, and then they should be. Down goes Ban, it's only Governor, 1v3, low on Aspas, and he gets the first. Adjustment's almost there. King dodges the shot to the head, but they have to push into him. Snakebite not covering him. He has a small angle, and King's about to swing into it. Question is, will he wait for the support? The wall bangs force him down to 50 already, but Governor's tagged low as well. Low enough for King to survive that onslaught for his 3rd kill in the round, and 4-0 we go. Talon, they didn't invest a lot though, and they made this look doable at a point.
Yeah, I think Jip Boys was the main part of that round. Being able to hit a couple of shots, we know that this guy has definitely got some crispy aim in his back pocket. It's just been a quieter start for the rest of the team. Like Governor at least able to find, I believe, his first in that round, but for Ban and Cruz, we haven't really seen too much, and I think going back in with another buy, it's going to be fairly important that they get themselves onto the scoreboard soon. Bear in mind that this is the map that they've chosen, the one that they're going for, and then Ascent up next. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to say their chances are around the 5% mark. I think I think Leviathan have looked incredible on that map.
Yeah, Talon essentially got a choice of Icebox or Ascent, whichever one I think Leviathan would be happy to play.
Although we did think that with FPX.
Yeah, no, you know what, fair enough. There's always that chance, but Tom, if it's a slow start, if it keeps going this way, I'm not going to feel too confident about the bounce back coming into the next. We need to see Talon showing up. And like I said, last round, there was some serious promise there. They got a good amount of kills. It looked winnable at a point, and just a fight or two. Primi losing
out on ult as well.
Yeah, they got rid of the orbital strike. And if Primi wins that duel on Bath, they might even win the round. But that's not how it goes down this time. And now coming into the buy round, that Showstopper's still there for Leviathan. They've upgraded to an operator as well. The defensive side has so much to work with, and the Bath control challenged by Primi. He's the only one here. If King wins this fight, you're cutting it down to just a one-angled approach, and they've heard the steps. They know that he's about here.
That's the ult at least. That was the goal.
He's using it.
Immediately used, and we'll have to force King back. The rest of the team making their way through middle, but they've left Governor behind. He's trying to catch someone as they rotate, and actually, the whole team is going to rotate. They haven't pulled anyone, though. Haven't moved. That kill's so important. Mazzino, we've spoken about him being a hero, but it's only going to be the one. The trade, fantastic, and the best opportunity we've seen so far. Ban, trying to play aggressively, though, and that might be a problem.
Yeah, that hasn't worked out. Primi grabs their eyes, and the back swing from Governor alongside Jip Boy secures the round. Talon 1 round on the board. A nice fake on A. Some risks taken. Primy's control over Bath if that goes awry. And the advantage is there for Leviathan. But the ult, once that's online, they see the players. And I think, yeah, they assumed that there was going to be some form of rotation. But even with Mazzino catching them off guard and finding 1 kill, he's shut down immediately.
The big kill was his first one. This entry. Like, you see comms caught with utility in hand. And from then on, it's all dominoes. Because they were very low on the clock. They're leaving that 15, 20 seconds left. If Com's still alive at the back, that's a much, much tougher take. The fact that Governor, as a solo lurk, eliminates him is great. And look at the economy already. Okay, Governor. He's feeling it with this Neon. Taking down Aspas as well. Well, this round is already over.
Yeah, pretty much. You're down to Com and Mazzino, weak weapons to try to clutch it back. Last round, too, Aspas tried to use the showstopper, so that's not there for them even in the future. Good recovery early on in the half by Talon. Looks to be 4-2. And they're even moving the right direction. Yeah, the only advantage that you would have here for Leviathan is if Talon go blindly pushing into you. Maybe Cruz TPs into heaven, gets taken down by the Stinger, someone walks blindly into Lamps, but...
So basically if they do something really dumb.
Yeah. And we saw that when they had pistols out, but you're not going to do that with rifles. Instead, it's just a direct approach to B. They're going to walk in, get a free plant, and from that point, Leviathan, I mean, they're not going to consider saving. They try to make this a costly round. The economy starting to get pretty healthy for the attackers after last 2.
Ah, the fact that they won it fairly clean. I think there was a slight upgrade, at least for Mazzino. So although their economy should be good for the next round, he may consider just looking for an exit and then holding on to the gun. And for Com, well, if he saves the Bucky, he's lost the plot. I don't think there's any realm where that happens. I think he's looking to try and get closer to the spike, but ultimately, he's going to win a 1v1 with a classic versus a rifle. Yeah, fair enough. That is an upgrade worth saving. Can just head back. I think he may get caught by Cruz, but he's definitely aware of the angle. He's going to win that fight as well. 2 kills. I spoke about exits. I don't think they're ever going to get more than that. And he gets an upgrade.
Yeah, both players will get upgrades out of that, and you're nice and comfy. I mean, they already have the rifle on Mazzino, so there's no need to go down to that spike. Carry it forward to the next. A little injection of economy for them. Side of Talon, building up ultimates, but really, the guy drawing your eye. We talk a lot about Primy, but it's Governor. The way that he's able to take space so quickly, like we said 2 rounds ago, catching Com off guard with util in hand, and then this time, the stun goes in, the dash, and then again, another little cha-cha slide in for the 3rd. Beautiful stuff from this man, and well, he got to farm up some of those eco kills. He got the entry in the last. Let's see what he can do here. Coming into round 7, rifles for all.
I also feel like with this sort of agent, with this sort of comp, you need him just being as confident as he is. Even if it doesn't work every single time, just not falling back. And he is. He's going straight back for it. Past the Molotov. King's trying to bait out the idea that he's retreated. He's still going forward. He ran through all of the util. Okay, I've maybe a little bit of an injection of fear, but the rest of the team have still capitalized. Primy holding his ground on the flank. They've kept this advantage, but for a moment, as Cruz again attempts to TP, this is absolute chaos. Back into a 2v2 scenario. Ult popped as well by Primy, and now it's just 1. Again, we talk about this man. The Prince of Pacific, the new blood, but I don't even know if he's going to peak this in time, and not quite quick enough. Com will take his head off and give a 5th round to Leviathan.
Well, Tom, you mentioned that Governor needed to have that confidence, maybe a little less confidence than what we saw in that round. Just a small bit less. That was a little crazy. Popped up the fast lane and tried to take the space, and you know, you can pump the brakes every now and then. A timeout for Talon on the back of that round, and somewhat expected. This was pure chaos, and Aspas being able to survive towards Lambs, grab that little bit of extra space. Again, the TP up into heaven for Cruz, just not working out. We've seen it a smoke there, a Yoru flash behind it, and they can peek in. It even for Governor's initial entry, you pump the brakes, wait for Mosh Pit. Once it's gone, flash out, fast lane, you're taking sight. Like, we're not seeing that synergized level. Sometime coming down to those individual plays that aren't working out, but you can understand it. Like we said, the confidence for Governor was high after the last couple. He's done some damage and forced out the Viper's Pit in the first couple seconds.
Like you could see that Covy's going, he might just run it down. I want to make sure that my pit's set up, but also that I'm within it and safe. So he just has to use his util immediately. And this time they haven't just executed off it. Maybe they were scared away. Jit Boys, though, is going to be challenged. But this guy's aim is so crispy. 2 players dead. A 3rd one there. And the 3rd one is probably the one you're most scared of.
Yeah, would be staying tucked in as well. As Aspa's going to overstay his welcome there. Talon go back towards it, they'd be in trouble. And you have Calm sat inside the pit, cautious that someone could be dropping out, trying to make a play out of Hookah. And, well, based on the icons on the map, that might be exactly what we're going to get. Still sitting around mid is Cruz, looking for the fight. Paranoia goes through. That's ultimately just keeping players in position on A. The full executes the B site. They're going to bypass the pit and leave Calm basically out of the round. He has to fight from a not so favorable angle. Instead, he's just going to give it up, drop the pit, and play the retake with his squad. But the re-pit from Talon, that's secure in spawn side. They have a good idea where Com is, that's for sure. And Mazzino's known to be towards A. This round seems to be tied up in a nice bow.
The only problem could be if they think Com is still towards long, because that's where the pit was. But even still, it would have to be a massive oversight for no one to think.
I think Ban is watching it.
And well, Mazzino's already been spotted. Not really an opportunity to get out of here either for Com, unless they're just going to completely abandon their posts. And I think he's just going to try and wait for them to back away and then do exactly the same himself, which is what he's managed to do. I think he will get out of this with the gun, so that's something at least. But again, it's these. I think the thing that's working out is firstly, Jip Boys. Whenever he's put in a position to frag, he has been unbelievable. But also, just the way that they're reacting. Like they didn't blitz through the pit this round. They didn't just try and run it down through. And because of that, you see the reaction of their opponents trying to find out. They need that info. They need to know where this take is coming. And when that happens, well, it becomes very easy for them to just sort of pick the rest apart.
Well, I think that it comes back to what you said a few rounds ago, Tom, the fact that this squad of Leviathan is adapting well. You're seeing this on the Talon side. They're constantly looking to do something else. If you're pushing A, you're making the noise there, they'll push B, they'll take the space. If you do nothing, well, let's sit in defaults and see what their adaptation is. And here it was to give Jip Boys 2 fights that he took, well, seemingly with ease. 5-3. Recovery from Talon clear in the early half. The attack side's not going to let this one slip. It's going to be more of the same for them. A little bit of noise on B. Getting caught by the flash. Leviathan know there's players outside of it, but again, Jip Boys and Cruz holding down those A aggressive angles. Of course, though, Leviathan making the adjustment from last round. Last time we pushed and they were waiting. Now we'll just wait.
It still means they have to go for these gamblers. Now, the thing is, they've got the flash still available with the Dizzy on Tex, and then a singular flash remaining for Mazzino. So he's got to time it well. The goal will either be to try and play it with the retake, which, considering how passive the A site players currently are, I think that might be the plan. Either that or just use that flash late, which is what he's doing right now, to get information. Nothing found on the B site. An aggressive push as well from Com. Now, Com doesn't have anything to play with in this round. He's literally just got himself this shorty. But with the control he's taking, they now know everything they need.
All the rifles stacked up. Thrash in heaven, ready to be fired out as soon as that deep space is taken. There's the fast lane. That is actually a Dizzy fired up and a drop down. That's Governor gone. Aspas doubling up, and then Tex comes into the fight. He's being pressured. Actually swings out a little wide. King's there for the trade afterwards, and with 12 seconds left, the pressure's on. Cruz needs to go for it. The shorty's chasing him down, grabbing a rifle. Com finishes it off. 6 on the board for Leviathan. The lead extended now and a chance to lock in the lead at the halftime.
You know as well, the Com in that moment is going, me being alive and not throwing this is so much more important. Like, I need to play angles that only work with the shorty. But he's ultimately what wins them the round. Like, you can look at the numbers, you can look at the players that got the kills, but it was the flash that was thrown out long towards the B site, and then having that deep control into Hookah where he was able to get the information so everybody could flank. And it's exactly the same that happened a few rounds ago. He did the same thing where he gets in on a fast flank, and because of that, they have all the players there. Sure, you needed the likes of Aspas and others to hit the shots, but without that info, you can't stack that site.
Yeah, really important early round for Leviathan. And I wonder if Talon are going to make the adjustment. They're seeing that the Sky Flash, when it doesn't get contact, the aggression comes through. This time they have a player there tanking the flash. And early on, that's going to deny Leviathan the opportunity to walk up. For Leviathan, maybe they decide to go walkabouts elsewhere. That's why Jip Boys is still in this position. He had success before. He's just begging them to push down on short over on the A site, but that's not coming through. The dog not really finding too much information, just the one player spotted by it. And I think the idea is to make the noise, drag the rotations, and now they've got confirmation. They've heard the Brim smoke go down, so on Talon, you know that extra players come in. Typically, Brimstone, King has been on that A site. And I think they'll TP to A and take a quick hit.
thing that makes me nervous is just the ults. The defensive side have so much to play with. They didn't need the Thrash for the last round. Orbital Strike available. They've got a Showstopper. You can't be hitting this site late. And while it's going to be 40 seconds, does Talon make their move?
Yeah, the rotations are already in. Leviathan again stacked up. They try to pressure after the ult goes through, but King, Tex, Aspas, they're all here. And there's still one man that's flown under the radar. Talon have Jip Boys on 26 HP. It's fair to say the responsibility sits with Cruz, and well, blink and you miss it. I'm not sure who died first if I didn't see the kill feed. 7-3. Leviathan guaranteed a lead at the half. The question is, by how much?
Yeah, I think we've gone from one extreme to another. Like in the early rounds, it was those blitzes through that took so much control, so much space, which made Leviathan have to adapt and start using utility early. You'd see really early Molotovs, really early snake bites. Now it's gone into this much slower pace. They're playing patiently, they're using the initiators to get the information, and then they're rotating with pretty much plenty of time to spare. I feel like Talon almost need to at least claim a little bit of map control early, just so that if they are going to go for one of these hits late in the round, they actually have some ground to go in and they haven't given everything over to their opponents.
I'm looking for the attack side ideas laid in. One orb away from Primy's ult, which found them a lot of success in clearing out sites, though I think still more can be desired from it. Will be online for the last round, at the very least. Maybe you can find it here. Push up towards A seems evident. Ban left on the other side of the map to cause some chaos. They've again caused that rotation to come through on B, but look, the dog's just gone down B long. It's seen absolutely nobody. Rotates now back to A, but this is the first time in a while that Talon are finding the site relatively undefended. And the kill goes in on the other side of the map. Chaos for Leviathan. They're picked off left, right, and center. Mazzino has the pressure on him. The whole squad coming towards him. Bar Jip Boys, who's left behind. A flash on the left, a swing on the right, but the dash keeps him alive. A little slide around for Governor, and with 7 HP, keeps the 5v1 in fruition.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of what Governor's doing is just irrational and annoying, but when you're sat on the other side, it's so difficult to play against. For King, the finances are good. You're going to be going into the last round, so you might as well try and challenge this. And Governor, again, it's a flawless, but now going the other direction. And I like the adaptation. Like one of the things that we noted was how easy it was for Comp to push up. So they go for an initial fight towards that A site, and then they fall back and they just wait for him. Because he is going to push that, because he succeeded doing it for 4 rounds in a row.
That is the adaptation. That's what we wanted to see. Coming into last round as well, Yoru ult's going to be online, and like I said, Talon have had some success with this. Having Primy lead the way, the rest of the squad cascading behind him, Governor quickly executing on that information. We'll see if Leviathan have an early strategy of their own, because I see a stack up towards this B site, ult used by Governor. The finger guns are out, but Jip Boy still having that success. Every time they push an angle, this guy's holding. He's good to double up and then some. Mazzino's going to try to deal with him now. Oh, and he's turned at just the wrong moment. But it doesn't seem to matter too much. A 4v2 with Governor's pick.
King's ult, it's been online for a while. I think Mazzino's still wary that they could be on the other side, but the plant's going to be denied. That will allow for a rotation. The fact is they could still go back if they wanted to. A hero desperately needed for the side of Leviathan, otherwise Talon will have at least been able to close the distance from the way that this half started. I don't know if they're going to be given anything, although a few fights offered up to King.
Still a flash for Ban if they need it. Same thing for Primy. Governor doesn't seem to want any help. Going in for the fights by himself. There's the Primy flash, and there's the closer. Great half from Governor and from Talon, recovering to a 7-5 scoreline. That's not bad. That is certainly manageable if Leviathan don't have a crazy attack side of their own.
Yeah, I think it's a few of those multi-frags that came out. I think Jip Boys did a very good job of just this incredible sort of fights. But either way, I believe we'll be back after a short break. Talking about it during the halftime, it's like, how are you going to make a Neon Yoru defense work? And as said, I have a lot of faith in Cruz, his imagination, and I'm sure the coaching staff have come up with a lot of ideas. It's whether they work.
whether they work and whether they work versus Leviathan.
They've got 4 players B at the beginning of the round. This looks like almost a direct counter to whatever pistol they think their opponents have got planned. And the stun, decent, but they don't get anything off it.
Yeah, Tex was waiting for Primmy's peak, but even as he swings out now, he's caught. An opening duel for the side of Talon. They keep their control. And the players still looking to get aggressive around here. There's no need to rotate all too heavily. They've got themselves a nice early advantage. The question is now, with 4 players on B, as the timer ticks down, do they start to rotate?
Players over towards long.
4 long.
It's weird. They're almost playing this like an attack. Like, let's group up together. We got one Lurker, a Viper on the other side of the map.
Here we go.
And well, another one coming up. Mazzino trades one, but Ban's done well. Com on the Lurk. But he probably knows now that there isn't going to be anyone else here. It's whether or not Aspas can actually retrieve this spike.
Last player standing.
No blast packs to get him in and out. And Cruz quickly takes his head off. Comms flank all that remains of the round. And like you said, the spike is down. He's going to have to probably TP to go and get that. That would give him away. Instead, he's rotating the loud way, the long way. And, well, Ban has already spotted him. He's put in a box. 20 seconds left. 4 kills. Spike plant. And next to no time to do it. The spams are really what it comes down to. And there's a man right behind him with a knife out. No, okay. Thank you, Cruz. Let's applaud Cruz for that one. He's saved at least a little bit of pride for Com. 7-6, a pistol for Talon. The gap's closing.
Yeah, I think Cruz maybe needed to kill a little more. He's been having a rough one so far, but I'm sure he would have wanted to humiliate Com just as much as anybody else on that team. But you can see, again, they're playing such a hard game to read. Like 4 players over towards this B site right off the rip. They must have been convinced in their read on what Leviathan like to do in the pistol. Either that or they were just going to attempt to jump straight through the TP if anything was shown on the other side. Governor, well, it's looking like more of the same. He loved playing in showers in the first half, and he's back again.
Well, they do an instant TP with the decoy. Noise heard. Leviathan take control over Bath, again leaving Com on the other side of the map to try to get this done. Catch someone off. We've already seen what his classic can do, so pretty confident in his duels. The Bath control, this is a risk by Primmy. He's going in for the fight against a lot of pistols, but the TP comes through. Big rotation, flash is good, swing is better, and the round is secured with just 1 loss. Gorgeous stuff, 7-7, tied up now. And, well, I guess the real test for Talon will be in the future rounds now, when the buy rounds come out and we get to see the limitations, potentially, of this comp. But like you said, they could have some ideas. I'm excited to see what they are.
I think we've already seen a couple of them. The fact that, again, you've got the classic sort of Tiger setup where you have the screen blocking and then you have the pop flashes through along with the Tiger to reveal anyone on the other side. It's a lot easier to do that versus pistols than anything else. But again, like this is something that LEV won't have been prepared for, won't have been practicing against. For now, a couple of Guardians, Bulldog, Judge, and a Marshall, and a very quick take coming out of LEV.
Snake by blocking out the backside, but Governor's up top. Looking to execute one of these players with the Marshall, deal some damage, but he's forced back by the spams. Leviathan get control of sight. Plant in, no flank, but they're watching it with Com just in case. Snakebite already used, like we said, so there's a little bit of post-plant utility stripped from them. But in this round, you're going to look to do the damage with the rifles. There's a Judge on Jit Boys that's going to have a tough time in taking anywhere else other than Lamps, and so he's following the dog straight through, already tagged up, and they give up the space. Little tap from Aspas as well. He's making it costly in terms of health, but now he's dropped. Quick peek by Governor's good. Decoy reveals the position to Mazzino, starting to connect the dots on where these players are, and Mazzino wants to make a play, but straight into the entire force of Talon. King steps up when needed. His 4th kill, and an ace might be needed, but the Molly buys him a little bit more time. Up quickly as Governor, dashing around, but King's got him. The ace locked in, and the lead is kept by Leviathan.
It's funny, we were having a conversation in the green room.
Yeah,
we were highlighting players, we were talking about Aspas, Mazzino, and you were like, maybe if those 2 guys don't turn up. What I say to you, I was like, what about King? Yeah. What about King?
Yeah.
They needed him. They desperately needed him in this round because, again, Talon are just grouping up like a death ball. And the thing is, every single time somebody was swinging into this angle, they got destroyed until King. the final blockade standing in their way.
Well, listen, I'll say this. Talon have had 2 very impressive bonus rounds. When it comes to those low buys, they're getting a lot of damage done. And that may stand to them if they can win this one. Leviathan will then be lower on cash.
Yeah.
8-7. The scoreline close to neck and neck. A slight edge to Leviathan. The rifle's out for Talon with an ult on Primi again, but this time defensive side, it won't have that same effect. But if Leviathan keep pumping the brakes on this, he might just use it for the info.
All right, Governor. Everybody's favorite operator angle. You've pushed all the way through showers. I feel like I've said that about 8 times with him so far this game. The problem is it locks down a lot of control, but they are just walking up. I think they're starting to realize how much of a gamble in these rounds are being taken by Talon. And because of that, they just have a free amount of space. Now, the good thing for the side of Talon is not only do you still have Showers control, which is about to be fought for, though the shot is missed, and now, well, Governor's under real trouble. How has he done that? Oh, Comma's just been absolutely destroyed. He's been made to look a fool. This man is in the spawn fighting absolutely everyone. They can't quite deal with him, and perfect synergy of the paranoia alongside the... Okay, finally, he's been dealt with, but so have the rest of LEV. There's no choice. Mazzino has to save, and he won't be allowed to.
Let me tell you, we talk about Primi coming in here. The Governor seems to be the one in charge. My goodness, what an incredible... I don't know how he got calm. Sliding around through his own fast lane, and look at this. Unbelievable.
He doesn't even take any damage. That was like some SSX tricky level stuff. Like just...
No, it's glass cannon too.
He's got it, yeah, like, you know, the meter on the side, the style points are just going off the damn charts.
You're on fire.
I don't believe what I've just witnessed, and I don't think Com does either. Like, just
painful for the LEV fans, but for the rest of us, this is goddamn fun. I want more of Talon.
Who would have believed that in the server right now, Aspas is the 3rd best duelist?
Yeah.
I don't think it will last.
Well, let's see. It's 8-8. Talon have caught up, and now Leviathan are left down to just pistols. 1 rifle, and it's on Aspas. He's got the Guardian creeping out through the smoke, blind, and Aspas is dropped immediately. Jip Boys cannot be pushed, and he's got Ban by his side. Cruz as well, and they're dominating every duel. Calm's left alone. Similar scenario. We've seen this one before. Just a classic to work with, and I almost thought he'd win that fight, but
wasn't far away.
Cruz is on a redemption arc from the first half. I think he came out of there with 1 kill. He's certainly catching up with the pack.
Yeah, I think he got a couple in the pistol and denied a knife. But they now take the lead. We were questioning how this was going to work over on that defensive side. Governor's operator was something we talked about. I think it's been far more aggressive than expected. He's playing it more like a chamber than anything else. We saw it from Autumn, but he doesn't have the get out of jail free, although seemingly he does, like just by being able to dodge and weave. But this is where they get the rifles back on the board. Ults, good for the side of LEV. Like, these are high impact ults, and they are ready this time. But will that matter?
Com's pulling off his best Jit Boys cosplay. Governor on the other side. He's got cover. He's being watched by Primi. There's no free swing for Leviathan to take, and only risks for the attacking side. They've gone up, smoked off on long, but they've managed to retrieve themselves an orb. And now Seeker's online for Mazzino as well. 3 high-impact ultimates in play. You can see with the tracers, yeah, Primi's got that angle on lock. The wall goes up, and he'll take the space. I like this push, especially because he doesn't actually have a gate crash. It's already already decayed.
Yeah, he's taking a risk. Oh, it's a nasty surprise for Com, but a trade back again from King. This guy has been on point. 45 seconds on the clock. Seekers being popped as they look to make their move. There's the operator again from Governor. Seemingly unstoppable. Ultimate's going to be there, but doesn't last for long. And now Aspas steps up to the plate. Puts them in an advantageous position. And Ban, whoa, he seemed like he was unaware. But he actually wins that fight.
The Wingman's got the plant in. Mosh Pit and Molly and Orbital Strike online. Thrash just in case. Talon need to move quickly to get back into this round, and Ban on 8 HP won't really contribute to that being possible. They're waiting in case there's someone close by. Maybe not yet realizing the post-plant setup they're about to run into. Here comes Orbital Strike to start it. It's halved, but damage is done. 25 and 8.
Oh, no.
In goes Thrash. I actually thought it would be a different order to this with the Mosh Pit coming in next, but they need to be quick now. The Mosh Pit's a little bit late. They've already got it most of the way, but the diffuser killed just in time. King has saved the day, and Ban is going to save on the other side of the map. That was a little bit too close. I felt my heart skip a beat.
I didn't think there was any world where he would get even close to that diffuser with the couple of mollies still available. But
Yeah.
I guess maybe not knowing how low, well, you wouldn't know how low that player was other than the orbital strike, like gambling on how much it had connected. Luckily, even if we were nervous, it seems like King is the safest pair of hands. And what, Aspas? I think the only surprise from Aspas in that round is that he doesn't get the third kill.
So close.
Oh,
That was a pixel.
yeah, someone's going to screenshot it with it complete, but
Yeah.
how much this happened?
It's one tick away. One tick too many. Talon robbed of double digits. We're now back to 9-9. Leviathan pushing the credits down lower, but Talon still have some to fall back on. Governor's gone for the Outlaw in this round.
They could afford an operator, it seems. Like, there's plenty of credits still around, so.
Or even just a rifle. He's been damn good with the Vandal, but he's going in for the Outlaw. I respect the hustle. Let's see if it pays off.
Moving. He is not moving. He is standing his ground. Paranoia, but I don't think the timing was there. I don't even know how Privy has gone down to that, but I guess we'll need a replay of that one. Even still, that's the advantage they were looking for. Governor has to be dead. Yep, not going to be able to reload quick enough. And Cruz still lurking within the smoke. Has a little bit of support, but they do have to be wary of other angles. Mazzino taking the fight, not overextending. Doesn't want to give the game away, and the timing for Cruz wasn't great, but he still got both kills. Tex and Aspas gone. They now have an advantage.
No post-plant utility either. This has got to be defended with pure brawn. Inside the smoke, Mazzino. Oh, it's beautiful! Up until that point, but he got there in the end. Reload in, low HP on one, but Ban's there to take the fight. Talon were denied double digits in the last round, but they will be the first to reach it. Now taking the lead at 10-9. I really doubted this defensive comp. I did not think at 7-5 that they would be in with that strong of a chance, but now they're leading, and Leviathan economy in the dumps.
Yeah, and they're getting big plays from pretty much every single player. Like,
yeah.
I think Cruz was in a spot where you look at him and you go,
oh, Primmy's mad.
Yeah, I'm mad for him. Like, that's
I reckon if he didn't jump, he doesn't die.
But yeah, Cruz seemingly in a 1 versus 2, you go, okay, he maybe gets one, but the fact he then swings and takes out Aspas like that,
of all people.
Did you see how upset he was?
I did. I was looking down.
Around? Come on, Frost, where's the smile? You're 10-9 up versus LEV. I think a lot of people's favorites for this whole tournament.
High
maybe
expectations.
Maybe Genji.
Maybe Genji, yeah.
Maybe second.
We are in Korea as well. But for Talon, this achievement, already one they can be proud of, but they're not stopping here. A retake needed. But look what they're up against. Just pistols and Aspas on a Guardian. We've seen this before. It was the B-long push, and they were very quickly put to bed. This time, though, Talon have to go pushing into them. They don't seem to mind that all too much, though. TP down to the backside. Aspas is caught. That's the rifle stun for a moment. Big swing in from Governor again. Aspas only dropping the one. And now we're down to classics that will be quickly dealt with. The defuse under King's nose, and he's honestly just happy to die in the end. 11-9, a 2-round lead. And what could be Leviathan's last chance at a healthy bye.
Oh, yeah. No, this is do or die time. And I think for that matter, definitely.
But for Leviathan, you know, I think if they come in here and try to play conventional Valorant, they lose. 9 times out of 10, if not more. But this composition, it has put them on the back foot. The attackers now having to clean sweep back through, as we said. Oh, that's heard, that's heard. Calm was, I think, just close enough to get that sound cue. To have an idea there could be a man behind enemy lines, but they're focusing forward instead, leaving Calm to watch the flank.
Smoke's being thrown down from afar. Information definitely there. Looking like they're going to try and play this one as a retake, and you can understand why. Seekers are online, but also it's just that late positioning. Com actually has Viper's Pit, but in the meantime, he has taken out Cruz. It's not pretty from Tex. He's only going to get the one. He's done a lot of damage to Governor, though. Ban keeps things even. The trade's back continuous, and Primi, he's got to be careful. The edge of this smoke that's about to fade. Calm is waiting, and Aspas is watching. It's left all onto Ban to try and fight back, but Aspas, again, will be there for Leviathan. They're going to close the distance down to 1, but economically, it's not going to do a lot. Talon is still buying, and that operator's back.
That might not be the case for the next round, but yeah, you're right, Tom. Here, they're able to buy up. There's Viper's Pit online for both sides. Governor has his ult that hasn't really done... There was no need to slow this one down. That's just rude. That's just rude.
The guy is currently, well, on 20 and 14.
20 and 14.
And the kills of,
show the whip.
that you have slowed down, because they didn't, I don't think they slowed down the like sick AWP shot after he was slided. No, let's slow down the whip.
Yeah,
Our
just doing him
production
dirty.
is toxic.
I love it. I love it. Oh, here we go. Aspas, he's straight in and straight out. No one else able to fight him. Mazzino's gone through the wall. Ban's doing a hell of a job. And now you might even think about taking it another direction. Viper's Pit is up, blocking out Calm's access to sight. And indeed, the spike is making its way backwards. Even then, okay, it is a retake from Talon on that side. Maybe the Pit can help out in the post plant. What's King 2 away? Won't be getting an orb all that easily. In fact, he might be getting an orb, but just from the death, down to 24 HP. He's ducking. He's made it.
Just about. I like the fact that Talon are not particularly committed on the A site. They've gone, okay, we're going to stack up again. This is something they've done throughout the half, is really take risks with where they're putting their players, but then be happy to play the retake. And in this case, it makes a lot of sense. You've got Dimensional Drift online. You've got the Overdrive for Neon as well. Like, these are ultimates that can take space so ridiculously fast. You go, okay, you can have the site. And especially an ult like this, normally it's a death sentence, but with Yoru's ult, it's a little bit easier to clear.
It may help. The concerns, though, Snakebite and Molly still online for the side of Lev. King playing far away, just looking to drop that in. Stop them where they start. Let's see if the ult, it certainly is catching them, but it's going to have to be Primi to do the damage. He sees the shorty. He knows what he's up against. Flash goes in. Second flash, and the spray from Calm doing so much. The commitment from Primi gets him one, but Calm still breathing. And now, a chance to bring this across the line. It's only Ban remaining. This round was looking favored to Talon. They had it all. And the Pit's dropped. Ban's caught one, and with Pit down, he has to go quick. He has to get on that here and now, and he realizes there's just no time to root Calm out of position. Looks like Calm might not survive, but he's done enough. 11 to 11. Leviathan have clinched that round out of the jaws of defeat.
I'm not even going to say Leviathan. Calm has clutched that round.
Yes.
Because that was not only, like, the whole point of what Primi is doing is just to block him. Like, make sure that his teammates can get into the pit and fight while Calm is distracted. Calm is spamming into the smokes to try and stop the diffuser, because I think it did get halved, by the way.
Yeah.
They're trying to defuse it while he is playing distraction, and then he runs in and just goes, okay, if I die, it's fine. I need to stop them defusing, and gets 2 kills from it. Really impressive decision-making.
For whichever team fails to make the mark.
I think for Talon, it's already proved that they're a competitor.
Oh, yeah.
For Lev, maybe they're not as favored as people would think. I think Ascent is going to be the real proving ground of that. Weaponry, there's a gap or two. A judge for Cruz, I don't think is too much of a problem. They're going for this 2-man stack up in Hookah, just looking to try and hold on to that control. The thing is, ult-wise, nothing. There will be no ults unless Ban is going to get an insane multi-frag. And on the other side of things, Showstopper is close, and they've got the orbital strike.
Well, they've got the site control too, but Hookah's still in the hands of Talon.
Where's he going?
He's gone straight in, and that was not the play. Tex was very ready for that one. I mean, Cruz's TPs have been interesting. Spray down, not great for Mazzino. It does damage, but doesn't take down the players. Aspas, though, with the wall bang does. And that's a little angle they weren't expecting. Jip Boy's up top. He's made it work before. He's pulled back some rounds. Ban on the side, luckily corrects in time, but he's the last man standing. Couple rounds in a row, tapping away at the head. And he's not going to get a free opportunity. Mazzino, well, maybe he will. We get ADS on that. The 3 players to deal with, time against him, rifle in his hands and economy low. Saving might even be the play that he's going for, but the flash comes out at just the wrong time. 12 to 11. Talon seemed to be on the cusp of victory, but now they have to fight for survival on Bind.
Yeah, with 3-round streak. Finally, we're starting to see the stabilization, also some big plays, but yeah.
Maybe he thought they were just sending in Wingman and they were playing long.
Maybe. Or maybe he's
wrong.
Been watching Red Guard demos.
Oh, there was no need for that. There's no need for that. He's not even here, man. It's just rude.
That's okay. He knows. He knows.
That's like slowing down a replay of a whiff.
Yeah, no, it is. It's rude. 12 to 11. Talon have fought tooth and nail. They've proven that they can compete. That all becomes meaningless if you can't get it over the line. Aspas, showstopper out. But speaking of out, the entirety of the opposing team are already set up for the retake. Ban, 1 kill will gift them Seekers, get them that information. The problem is the retakes have been solid. Molotov actually used early from King just to try and deny some of the space as they now attempt the retake to keep them in the map.
Still some post-plant utility. Still got the molly that was fired out, and then King gets a double on the back, just swinging in. Every kill for Leviathan, barely a scratch of damage, and it's left to Ban for what feels like the 100th time, but he'll be shut down here. 13 to 11. But I was watching back some of how LEV play Deadlock on this map. Attack side, because that was my real curiosity. I think defense, you'll have similar ideas, but I really enjoyed some of the traps they were putting down. I think the wall's super useful, combining with the traps. It'll be interesting to see how Talon deal with that. They certainly have an interesting approach, let's say.
Yeah, it's going to be a brawl. I don't think there was ever a question about that. And throwing in, like, you basically have a lot less duelists than maybe you'd have expected, but ones that can all be played as duelists. Your controller can be played as a duelist. Even your initiator to an extent can be. And Primi, well, we've always talked about Battle Sage. That's an interesting more just to get them the opportunity to fight and ignore Heaven. That's the only plan of it, was to try and fight Com, and it succeeded. They've only just spotted out the cam, but they're going to get themselves into the after plant, and Tex is going to have to wait a sec before he can break the door.
Tell you what, these guys are not worried about what everyone else does. They're playing their own game out here, that's for sure. Talon losing Ban in the back lines. They send back Primi to try and deal with Aspas, and he's done exactly that. Good round for Primi already. Let's see what else can be done. Governor, oh, he's caught by Mazzino. That's the double kill that puts Lev back in it. And with Cruz on the site, he will not last long. Isolated, Primi's gonna go for the ace. The wall drops at just the wrong time. And with that, Leviathan get another pistol.
Yeah, it was a nice attempt. Again, you see a lot of the ideas that Talon have early. I think the initial reveal that sort of gave away all of them, but they had the wall to block anybody from Heaven actually being able to challenge, and then just spamming back through the door. I think the big thing was just what Mazzino was able to get done. He had a bit of a rough previous map back on the Initiator, but as you said, I feel like a lot of the utility he uses here, very cool on the attack side, but also just in retake scenarios. You can just lock off certain portions of the map, make things a little bit more difficult, and well, for Governor, he didn't have the slide to get out of that one. He's just going to be back on the Sova.
Yeah, that's an interesting point as well. When you look at the duelists in play, I think Ban had a good map last time, but oh Lord. Com, big fan. Love your darts.
Well, they had a grav net there as well, so if anybody had gone that far forward, they were stuck crouching while he spams.
I mean, that's a pretty damn good shock dart. 49, and well, Ban's healing up a little bit, but that's all thanks to Primi.
So he's using an Ares. You hate that gun too.
I do, yeah. I was trying to avoid really saying it, but my disdain, I think, was audible. It's just not a good weapon, to be honest with you. Get a Guardian, less bullets, but you're going to actually hit them for damage. That said, Shock Dart's done a hell of a job. Recon goes through, B main clear. Now you can start shifting right a little bit with Mazzino covering off mid. No one's there. So they've got a good idea that the A site is the intended hit with weaker weapons in play for Talon. There's no need for Lev to get aggressive, and this little jump spot from Tex will get them all the info they need.
He is somewhat isolated. Although saying that, the players on the cross have definitely helped out. Trying to conserve some ammo, but every shot fired makes him more vulnerable. Primi with another kill. He's getting closer and closer to that res, but everything else looks very comfortable. for Leviathan. It will be a 2-0 start, another pistol and conversion. And I said it last time, the buy that they have going into round number 3 as a bonus, it's not the most conventional.
No,
At least from what we see in EMEA, you see a lot more rifles, but ultimately, they managed to make it work last time. So I'm not going to question it until they actually lose this round.
Yeah, I think just in general, we see the rise of the rifle second round, and then you even invest 1 or 2 more if things don't go the way you're planning. A lot of the time you can compete for that 3-0. For LEV, doesn't look like they're competing for it necessarily. But again, hinging around this outlaw. If you can tag somebody, someone's down to 10 HP, well, every other weapon on the board is going to have a field day in taking them down, or the early spams doing the damage. Calm last time, playing towards the B site. Now he's on short. Definitely not a conventional Ares angle. He's going to try to spam it down and do some damage, slow them on the way through, fire his shock darts, and just generally be a headache for Talon to deal with.
That's a lot more tentative. Patient stuff. You can see the sensors set up in mid, and the timing of the wall is sublime. It's going to have to be broken. A lot of players already here for Leviathan. They're reliant on their utility elsewhere, the setup of techs, and the sheer delay that they have on that side of the map. The wall is going to section anybody off from helping quickly, and the pressure is going to be on.
Well, the pressure's off Tex. He's taken out immediately. The reveal was dangerous, but they're safe behind the wall. Band out with the flash. Not able to convert on the back of it, though. Has to slow it down slightly, and the spams are doing damage. Cruz and Jip Boys down low, but not out of the round just yet. And with the plant going through, the advantage most certainly sits with the attackers. Retake for LEV. And it's not going to be extremely strong. Most of their utilities already being burnt up. Perhaps, I mean, even the recon, that's 15 seconds left. It's going to take some time.
It's going to take too long, if anything. I think they might just have to make their move or go for exits. And well, the exits, if they can pick up an extra rifle, would be nice. I do think there's a realization, though, from the side of Talon that, okay, we need to start working to get out of here. We need to make sure that we're not being locked in. We're going to be able to escape, and well, you can see Mazzino attempting a couple of things, but it is all too easy for the side of Talon. No damage done whatsoever. Primi still fragging away. He's already got his res online. It's not like he needs it. He's had it for a while. And for Aspas, he's just going to hold on to an outlaw. That in the next round, not too much of an issue.
Still going to give him some potential for sure. But yeah, Talon with a very impressive follow-up. Coming into the 4th round, they're going to have res online as well. And the slow play, blitzing into the side after contact, eliminating Tex from mid. This is what we want to see, bypassing some of that deadlock utility as well. It was, I believe, a sonic sensor waiting for them. There were Cypher traps as well. Like, they definitely ran into a pretty heavy setup, but it didn't look like it. They made that one look easy. Now, though, I don't think we're going to see the same scenario. Rifles in play for LEV. Yes, you still have the outlaw, but, well, we're not shying away from a battle with it. You can see Aspas very keen to take this fight. Dodges the flash, tries to block the reveal, but he doesn't get that done. And now, well, he's going to have to dodge these spams.
Yeah, the dash already gone. No real way to escape. You can see the switch up in setups, the sensors over on the A site now with deep control from King. Jitboy has made sound. He is alone. This fight could end up being quite important. It either leaves Mazzino completely alone, or it makes this a bit more of an awkward fight for the side of Talon. For now, just more of a back and forth of battles. The problem, though, is that Aspas is somewhat stuck in this corner, and well, blink and you miss it. 3 dead.
Well, I don't know how you recover from this one. Mazzino hoping that they run into his trap, but that's not going to be the case. Big rotation. He just about misses his window. Does feed the information over, but look at the mid play from Jip Boys. He's there at just the right time. Calm left alone. Odin in hand. This will be a play that I'll remember for the rest of my life if it works out, but he won't even get the first.
That reminds me of your Odin plays.
Thank you. You're saying I have champions winning material in me. I appreciate that.
No, I'm saying you get 0 kills.
All right, okay. Well, that's just not factually true. But for Calm so far, it has been a little rough, as it has been these last 2 rounds for LEV. I mean, Talon definitely stepping up to the plate in the early half.
Yeah, I like how patient they're being. Again, like you've sacrificed yourself an extra initiator. So on that defense, you kind of have to go pushing and probing a little bit, like sending Aspas to kind of have a look and take some fights. And I think the timing was actually decent from LEV to just go for that double swing, but they peeked into a firing squad. Like Talon were fully prepared to just wait that one out. As you mentioned, the attack sides, I think, have been where LEV have really had a lot of ideas when it comes to the deadlock and the rest of this composition, but on the defense, I want to see what else they have to offer. In this round, not a lot. It's the Guardian, it's pistols, an ultimate that will allow King to rotate maybe into the back of the B site if they need it, but other than that, the shoe is firmly on the other foot.
Take flight.
Well, this drone is not an indicator of where the push is coming through for us. We can see that Talon are looking for control elsewhere.
Over there.
Wrestling for a bit of mid. Breaking the wall. Making it look pretty clear that what they're attempting is an A split. And maybe that is what they're going for now. I start to see bodies shift, but yeah, indeed it is all a fake. They'll move back in the other direction. Calm's got a frenzy. They have to enter a killing frenzy here. One is all that he finds, and now the B site's wide open for the taking. Even the res used in this round, I don't think it was necessary, and he's been dropped right after.
Well, either the plan was to get Cruz another ultimate orb, or that was a little bit unlucky. I think the wall broke because of the res, and I guess the thing is, with Primi being 8-2, I think he was sat there waiting for an opportunity to use the res. Aspas upgraded, Vandal in hand. King has taken his gun as well, and now the players are somewhat trapped in. I am looking, though, at Governor. His position could be crucial.
Right here.
Well, if he fires that recon, they're going to know. Oh, they absolutely know where he is now, but dealing with it might be another story. In they go, shorty in hand. Out comes the rifle, creates some space, and all he's doing is slowing them down. They can't focus on the side hit with this snake in the grass behind them, and you can see a staggered LEV. At this point, they've reset to just making this costly. They know there's players trapped on that site that need to make a move. B-main control is theirs. And now just looking to catch them on the way to spawn. Big peek, but a shot eventually lands. Mazzino out for a bit more, but he won't find it.
For King, just going down to the spike. Still going to be 3 standing for Talon. They rectify there. It looked like there could have been a moment where that got a little bit dangerous. You lose yourself a player early. Jit Boys is now going to have his ultimate online as well, so another opportunity to bring someone back. And that's one of the things with this composition is there is 4 opportunities for 2 chances in a round. I think this literally is like the res comp. You've got the Sage res, you've got Clove who can bring themselves back from the grave, you've got Ban who can use the run it back to send himself in first, and then you've got the same for Cruz who can use that. Oh, come on, that's fast. Oh. He's 1 HP. Obviously, that was the decay, but even still.
Well, the metal not quite getting the kill across the line this time. Quick reaction from Aspas keeps him alive, but the same can't be said for Mazzino. He's died over on the B site, and Talon now know they've got a bit more space to work with. Pumping the brakes, taking a slower rotation away from the A site, keeping it in the back of LEV's head. They might still be going that way. We'll keep Aspas in position. The op on the other side of the map is exactly what they want. B is going to be the new target. And this, like you're saying, Tom, the zombie comp, the fact that these guys can keep coming back from the dead, it is a challenge that LEV may find very tough to play against. Again, it's not what they've played in scrims. I'll tell you that for sure. Probably the first time LEV are coming up against it, unless they've had a crazy ranked game. Spam close for Calm, but they've managed to evade it just about. And so the site control and the plant goes to Talon. The advantage, not quite there, but LEV have to push into them. And Aspas is miles away.
Privy, I feel like we're back on day 1 ascent. Yeah, we're watching over the top of the wall, but doesn't quite get anything. Com does, though. This time the spam has connected. They're going to work out where Prim is as if they didn't already know, and he couldn't quite get the second. It looked like he was almost bang on, putting things into an advantageous position for that defensive side on the retake, and the shots just aren't connecting. Cruz trying to cling to life. And although the time was definitely getting a little bit lower, it's not going to be close.
Big round for Calm on the Odin, burring them down, and now find himself an ult with the defuse. got himself a couple of orbs, so we're going to have the Hunter's Fury online and ready to go. What we're also going to have is a timeout called by Talon. They've been equalized in round 6, now 3-3. And coming into next round, Jip Boys has the ult to work with. Cruz does too. That's a couple opportunities to make mistakes and still rectify. They want to make sure that they take full advantage of that. Last map, 13-11. That's probably why we see such an early pause. They know that a micro adjustment in the previous with that. But after seeing what I've seen up against a team like LEV, because it's one thing doing it regionally, it really is, but when you come up against a squad like this...
They haven't been doing it regionally.
That too. But even if you're a promising team there, how many times have we seen it? You step up to the international stage against a squad with champions winners on it. Often it's a very different ball game, but in fact, I think it's LEV that have been most surprised, most put on back foot. Wall up, and the res coming through as a result. Undeniable. Cruz is back in the round.
Yeah, again, you see these multitude of reses. Jip Boys still has another opportunity. Aspas, though, is lurking around. A wrong angle taken or given up. In fact, it's going to be the flash. Not a bad trade, but even still, they lose Cruz. This time, they can't bring him back.
Well, Jip Boys goes down, and Jip Boys is back in the fight. Has a little bit of time to try to make this happen. Watch out for Deadlock. Already popped the ult, looking to detain somebody. And in fact, the player dies to the wall bang of Calm, who's pulling out the classic for a little bit more. Jip Boys denied a second wind, and Primi 80 HP. Spike down, 40 seconds left. Trap waiting on his left side if he runs down the stairs. He's heard it, so he knows. He can't even stand there and shoot unless he finds the trap first. Nice shot onto Calm. Now the spike can be retrieved and site can be approached. Maybe the plant goes through, and a retake with King and Mazzino, two very strong players. But it's an opportunity for Primi to show what he's worth.
Spike planted.
We've already seen some impressive stuff. This would have to be the best, and
unlucky.
Unfortunate timing. A very quick response for the side of LEV. I think maybe expecting that the slow would actually slow them down, but it seems like they were just happy to walk through it and not give anything away. It will be the advantage taken once again for Leviathan. And for Talon, well, I was going to say close, but I don't feel like that round was as close as it was. You think about the fact that they used the null command immediately. You also had the not dead yet, like the res from Jip Boys as well.
Yeah.
Like, you're using two ultimates to bring someone back from the dead, and you're still having two full HP players on the other side, and, wow, Calm doing fantastic work for the back of the site.
Damn right he is.
Yeah, that classic kill was really nice.
No, Tom. Now the wall bang was better. Look at him. He's cold with it. 4-3 for LEV. They've taken the lead, and now Talon still able to buy up. This is the benefit of this squad, having such a solid early half. They've got credits for days. We'll see an Odin on Governor, looking to counter out the spams that have been coming through from Calm. But this time again, he finds himself on the other side of the map. You'll see this little bit of versatility, swapping up positions instead of being very repetitive and predictable. They've swapped it over to the B side hold with Tex alongside Mazzino. If they do run into this, they will be running into an absolute ton of utility. And the trap isn't in the main walkway either. They're further back, so these players won't know what they're running into until it's too late.
Oh, here we go again. Wall up on both sides.
And Hunter's Fury. Nice!
And that's going to lock them in, stuck in position. Com's already going to find an opener, and there's nowhere for Jip Boys to go. Primi, though, still on top of the wall, has managed to put this back into an advantageous position, and even better one. The only real issue for them now is that time. 30 seconds left on the clock. Calm is waiting. In fact, the rotation's coming in from King back to the back of the site, exactly where he thrives. King is trying to slow them down, but it's going to be on Calm. Everything's on Calm to try and hold the line. The reposition, he's wary that he's being surrounded, and he is slowly closed in, and it's Primi with a third kill of the round again. 13-4 right now.
Apparently he needed the Sage, not the Duelist. He was pretty good on the Yoru, but this is another level. Perhaps falling back to comfort. So he said the Yoru was his second ever official. He has that many under his belt, and he looked decent. now looking absolutely fantastic. The res used in this round, bringing a player back from the dead, and the fact that he, on top of the wall, drops Mazzino, who had those traps. You can still see them in a pretty difficult position. As well, when you're thinking about how Talon want to exit places like B main, you're going to be flashing, you're going to be running, you're going to be making noise. Those traps are getting you every single time. Dealing with those early, dealing with Tex as well, who had those other traps. Even if you get rid of the sonic sensors, you're walking into trap wires. That's not the case.
It's got to be infuriating as well for Mazzino, because you put down the barrier, you're like, okay, I blocked them out. I can now look to try and reclaim some control of the site. And you just forget about something that's so sort of like binary. With it's like literally day one of the game. People are like, you can wall on top of stuff.
You see it in the replay. I mean, Mazzino was the second guy to fall from that position. Tex had already died from there, so it really is an oversight. I like the wall, though, like you mentioned. The fact that it's just fish in a barrel for Calm. Second you put that down, they're in a narrow alleyway. You're on the perfect angle over on A short. Fire away the ult, and, well, he had his reward, but it was quickly taken back by Primy's ultimate. 4-4, we're tied up. And again, Odin's bought up on both sides. I gotta say, I enjoyed Governor on the Neon. I'm liking his little attack side Odin so far. It's good to see.
Well, Aspas is going to be the first point of contact. I feel like they flashed him off every single angle he's ever tried to
They
hold.
have enough flashes to do it.
Yeah, it's basically just making it so that his impact is almost nullified. Like, we haven't seen that crazy performance from the superstar duelist just yet. He was definitely good on the first map.
Oh, yeah.
But the expectations are, well, second to none. Governor already looking to clear some angles. King is somewhat stuck in the mud. He doesn't have a way out of here. I don't know if there is going to be the check. It doesn't seem like there was. But even still, this has nothing to do with the play. They're going back the other way.
Well, here's a chance for Calm again. The spams as they make it through the door. It's a little late on the setup. Instead, he's going to be trying to catch them, I guess, deeper in. Lots of pings coming in from Talon. Tex catches Jip Boys and corrects on the cruise. Ready for someone to be up top while Calm spams away to ban and dodges the Hunter's Fury. There's nothing to be recovered here for Governor. I said I've enjoyed his Odin on this attack, but a 1v5 is a little too much to ask. Some damage done, but not enough.
Something else you mentioned as well, I think you curse both players, if anything, is the wall, which broke as it was used. So he basically used it, fell off, and then even though Tex looks up, he's not being shot at from that position. And I think maybe he gets one, but if there's a player up on the wall shooting back at him, I feel like he's almost screwed. So a slight mistake, obviously that happens sometimes with the Sage wall, and then a fantastic round from Tex. Honestly, like, you put the guard. We're seeing a lot of great Guardian plays. In our matches so far, I think Rien's had a few moments. Obviously, Young was insane. Like, ace with it, so I feel like it speaks for itself. But 5-4. It really is just a back and forth at this stage. The streak coming out earlier, but LEV starting to stabilize, and this was just clean coming out from Tex.
It's gorgeous, really gorgeous. The wide swings as well, and he's just correcting one bullet onto them. Scream sat at home going, I told you this was the way. 5-4, Leviathan. They've taken the lead. Aspas, he's about to be flashed. I can tell you that for sure, because it's what happens every time. But this time, he gets his ones.
He might have had more op kills blind than being able to see.
In
but
this
there was
map,
another
I think
one
so.
On the B site as well.
Yeah, I think, was it Ban as well? It was Ban's flash. I don't know if he killed Ban.
I think it might have been. An early advantage there again. Com's taken quite a bit of damage. I guess the counter spams have forced him to fall back. But, well, let's be real. Every time he's fallen back, he's become deadlier by the second. It doesn't look like this time there's going to be a flash, but there will be a smoke. However, Tex is watching.
Camera taken out.
Here.
Now they look for this split once again.
Oh, they just suppressed Tex. The trap wire on B lane's not active anymore, and Governor's able to swing as a result. 17 HP. Calm almost got his counterpart, but instead, he's the one spammed down, and Tex has to recover. He's got a double and kept them in it. Blade Storm active for Aspas. He has the operator, but he's using this to be the tip of the spear. Already fired off one knife and no success found. Paranoia goes through. Cruz and Privy sat on site. Smoke goes up. That keeps them with a little bit of protection. I like it from Jip Boys. That op's not going to be quite as effective, and even the Blade Storm, a risk will have to be taken. Aspas swaps out to the rifle. Now here comes the blitz. King's coming in from the laneway, from the stairs, pardon. The laneway is the Blade Storm. No, the shots don't land. It's messy, and it's King to bring it across the line, converting the kills and putting 6-4 on the scoreboard for LEV.
Yeah, I think the major thing that has now become an issue is pushing into Tex. The last couple of rounds, he has been so high impact in positions where maybe you expect him to get one, especially after the sort of initial fights were almost traded with Com getting tagged so low. I think he almost sacrifices himself just to give an opportunity for Tex, and well, then there's King there at the end. 6-4. LEV starting to extend their lead. 4 of the last 5 rounds going in their direction, and a lot of what was there before was the Primi show. Like, it hasn't been anywhere near as impactful. Like, I think Governor, obviously not on the duel list anymore, but Bans, Phoenix, some of the flashes have caught players, but he has died almost every time.
Yeah, the results haven't been there so far. Still, good early half for Talon. Let's see if they can convert something later on. Caught in the net. Ban will go down. He's not had a good time when it comes to early duels. Rifle recovered at least by Cruz, so they're still in fighting form. But there is going to be a challenge now with this heavy of a disadvantage, with 2 Sentinels on the other side that you're pushing into. They've got to find their result somewhere. And, you know, if Primi was close to a res, maybe, but 4 orbs away, that's a bridge too far. Maybe you can farm them up, though, for the next.
They're hoping someone gives them the fight, and someone will. This time, no flash. And Aspas, oh, he's just about made it back. If anything, his opponent's smoke has actually helped out a little bit. The wall is going to be there to at least block him off, but it's even whether or not it's worth just holding onto the guns at this point, Mitch. I'm not certain that trying to play this 2 versus 5 is really worthwhile left for Talon.
It might be better to just hold on to the rifles, I agree with you. Especially for the players that are alive. Those are the ones that have the low credits. It's whether they'll be able to or not. They use the wall up on mid. They're known to be around that position. King was here quick enough to guarantee that they're either locked into that spot or
10 seconds
they've
left.
gone short. But he realizes quickly where they actually are as the wall breaks. 6 seconds left, and look who's close. Mazzino. It's Tex from far to find one. Mazzino's hot on them. They know Primi's here. They've revealed him, and the swing will delete any possibility of those rifles being carried forward. 7-4. 1 round to play for. It's such a sick finisher.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome for sure.
Did you read Chronicles' 8A4 page essay on why it's good?
No.
Oh, nor did Durka, so it's okay.
We are the same person, so.
That's true, yeah. I should have known, my bad.
Except for the fact that he's younger, more handsome, more talented. Other than those things, we are the same person. 7-4. 5 of the last 6 rounds. It definitely seemed like, again, LEV took some time to get going, but in the late game of this defensive half, we're getting what we expected. Big individual plays, solid setups to force awkward fights for Talon, and I think also just shutting down what has been the major point of just, like, a lot of this comp allows for second chances, and we haven't seen, even if they do get the res off, or if they bring someone back from a no command, or even ban Zolt, it's barely been on the board because he hasn't been able to get many kills. They've dealt with it. And other than that 3-round streak, it's been a singular round since.
Well, the utility will be cut out to start this. Talon looking to approach, but, well, Aspas has other ideas. That shot almost lands. A block of ice gets in the way, and the second shot not quite quick enough. He can't go up and over with the updraft, but does some serious damage. Governor, well, he's getting healed up quite a bit. He'll be back up to 100. But Primi has lost his life in the meantime. A little off angle that they weren't expecting. Mazzino grabs it, cruises down, and now they're looking to seize that last player. He won't be in the cocoon, but he won't be in the round either. 8-4 as we close out this half, and Leviathan certainly got control of the reins by the end.
Oh no, they are in an excellent spot. As said, in their recent form, you look towards the attack side of this map of being where this team has really thrived, and honestly, I'm not certain if we're going to be able to see much more from it. Either way, we're going to be heading off to the half, and maybe they'll be able to come back in the next. Second chances, but that hasn't been the case. Ban having a rough showing, Cruz as well, his first half is similarly to what we saw in the last map, and there needs to be a serious turnaround if they're going to stand any chance in this map.
Yeah, we're going to need to see a different level from Talon. The same level that we saw in the last map, but catching players off guard. It was easier to do on Bind. That was a crazier comp. This one, you're bringing players back from the dead, and often they're still falling flat. Let's see, 8-4, a strong lead for Leviathan, and the pistols have been going well. They find this one, it's another nail in the coffin of the Pacific number 4.
Not already. We see exactly what's expected of this defensive side. An early peek, or an early push even, coming all the way through B, and gone, well, he spotted it. He's seen it. He's going to call for the cavalry. They're going to try and fight this. They want to brawl with the side of Talon, but for now it's just an even trade. And Talon think better of it, but it's pushing them back in towards Tex, who is now hiding within the site. It seems like they have an idea. Ban definitely has an idea. Unfortunately, he can't do anything about it, and now they're going to continue to battle and brawl. Mizzino lost, but Tex is going to get that spike, and they're waiting for Jit Boys. It's left on to Primi.
A man who can definitely bring this across the line, even in a tough situation like this. Leviathan need to be careful, and they don't know where he is. They found out, though. Tex, phenomenal round from him. Clean shots across the board. And 9-4 locked in. That's a devastating blow to the side of Talon. Coming into this half, no doubt they were hoping for that pistol.
Well, as well, you have to talk about Tex on the first map. Like, he definitely had a rougher time over on that Gecko, right near the bottom of the board alongside Mizzino. He's been a different beast. Like, the amount of multi-kills he's had with the Guardian, the Ghost in this one, like, these are high-impact rounds that he's been taken over the line. Now matches up to Primi on the other side of the board, who's exactly the person we expected him to be. This high-caliber aim player. There just hasn't been much else. Aspas, who's surprised? He's got himself another outlaw.
I'm not surprised, but I'm pleased, to say the least. Alongside a lot of pistols, 2 Ghosts carried through, Bulldog and a Spectre. Pretty interesting buy. A lot of potential for it. Ranged fights, Tex and King just picking up weapons and ensuring that they don't lose too much in terms of the economy, even if they do take a loss or two. Giving respect to Talon, and, well, I'm very glad that's the case, because this squad has earned it. For now, though, Leviathan, take a look at the map. You can see the spike. It was shifting to the right side alongside Mizzino. They looked like they wanted to hit A. At that point, Talon were stacked up. It looked like a bad call. But now, Talon make their way back to B. They're gambling. You've got classics. Chances are if you play a default, you're just going to lose player after player, and then play a retake where you're dying to the spike. Instead, they're going to roll the dice and play together.
Yeah, and the dice have gone in their favor this time. A lot of utility.
30 seconds left.
And they now have to go for this. Mizzino leading the charge. Shock darts being used to try and soften them up, but it hasn't caused too much in terms of damage. 2 kills or more is needed for this to be costly. There's already the first for the trades. Coming in thick and fast. How has Primi come out with 2? It's now left on to just Aspas. Into a 1v2 scenario, and they managed to win it based off the stack. A great read, a great gamble from Talon that's put them back in the map.
I don't know what Cruz saw there, because they were starved of information. I really do think this is just a blind pick. Let's stack up on the site that gives us the best chance. Lots of nasty little angles to hold on B. Let's go for it. And if not, we run and we die to the spike afterwards.
What?
That's outrageous.
Free
the follow-up as well.
Free gun.
Fan picking up the Spectre and then spraying it down to take Aspas. Well, they might have hoped for the pistol. It looks like they've got something better. Now 1-1 in the half, but Talon pushed Leviathan down to next to no cash. The only thing that they've got to work with in this round is a rifle on Aspas.
The only thing they have is...
the danger is they've got a rifle on Aspas. You need to be very careful about taking a fight against this guy. He's swinging into 2, though. He's realized it now, and he's got Cruz out in the open. 11 HP. There's no way out. Surely he's gone.
Oh, hello! Oh, I thought Governor might get all of them. It is E-code players. But there was a hope that that could have been the fastest 4K maybe in history. Unfortunately, not going to be the case.
I was very ready for it, Tom. I was very ready. 9-6.
I think that would have been the most excited anybody had ever got for a 4K on E-code players.
Versus pistols, yeah. Be hailing this man as the best player of all time. He did some good damage, but it doesn't take the cake. We got to see a little more. 9-6. 3-round gap. Rifles out for Leviathan. You've got Talon with a run it back. Ban has it. And defensive side, I'm curious if it's going to be used off rip. I see his position. It's unlikely. That's for sure. Nice angle. He's a cultured spammer. Not just the conventional spot that can be spammed back on so easily, instead trying to catch him on the way through. I love it. Hasn't worked out. No one was there. Reveal goes up. No one there. Not a lot of information to work with for the side of Talon, except that there might be a play coming in towards the A site. 3 players stacked up on A short, Tom. I expect I'm going to see a push coming through with a smoke up. I don't know if that will delay them or just get them to flash through.
This is the thing. This is the special from Cruz. He loves to go for these pop flash plays. Even still, it's only going to be the 1-for-1 trade. The ult was lost in the middle. Governor waiting. It's another kill with the Odin and the spam back on the other side, but the advantage sits with Talon.
2 players spotted and they know where Calm is. That's every piece of information there for the side of Talon. They've got all the players jotted down in their positions. 45 seconds left. Nade is good. It's forced King back. He can't take the space any longer. Smoke goes down. An attempt to delay them that little bit further to make them think it's still an A hit while they shift to the other side of the map. 33 seconds left. And it's only 1 player on B.
Left.
Governor, Reveal, Shock Dart, and an Odin. He's going to have to do it by himself. If he goes down without a kill, this round may be favored to LEV again.
He's, again, just holding an off angle. He's not going to get hit, but it's King with the drive-by. Odin gone, sight gone, and it's going to have to be the retake. This was looking like a solid position from Talon, but it's very quickly divulged into an advantage for the other side. And with the TP online for King, he can reposition late into the round if needed. But it seems like with the attack side Odin, they're going to hold that back site.
Yeah, now this is where the trouble begins. You've already used the reveal at least, but Calm just firing out shock darts. A little misread on how quickly Talon are looking to take this. Only now stacking up and making the push. They've caught Calm, they've caught King. It's Aspas to do it all. And Brimmy hits it quick as can be. 3v3 retake, and all members of Talon, the 3 that went in, are left standing in the end. 9-7, the scoreline's closing, and the defense is looking good.
Primi is definitely the guy that was promised to us. Like right now, let's just, I want to see the scoreboard. He is 21-9. The next 3 players on his team combined have the same amount of kills. Like, it's actually ridiculous. Like, there's not even anyone remotely close to this guy within the server. We talked about whether or not he could match up to Aspas. I'll be honest, fairly low.
Oh my God.
Well, they are still 2 rounds behind. The difference on the other side is, yeah, we are seeing more of a team performance. But if Primi can pad the gap until someone else rises to the occasion, that would be nice for the side of Talon. Like I said, they're definitely still on the back foot here. But this round, going to be a couple of rifles. The Guardian in Tex and Aspas's hands, you can always have high hopes. And actually the A site relatively open. It looks like almost an immediate attempt for a retake setup. I don't know if King's going to get out of this one alive. He will, and well, unfortunately the lurk of Tex has been dealt with. Aspas though has gotten walkabouts and even things right back up.
He was up in heaven a bit quicker than they were expecting. Finding himself the 1, keeping things doable, but with the weaker weapons, they have to hope that Talon go diving in, give them opportunities. Flank play coming in. Calm is the one sent back to watch it. Rez on to Governor. Now the advantage is there for Talon. And the flank from Ban is so late. There's no way they check it. Curious to see his impact in this round. Spam good. King's down. That's only the pistol. It's Aspas that I'm worried about. He's up top, looking for the fight, and the blind is absolutely perfect. Can't see a thing, and now he's left alone to do it all, and Cruz up close, quick scopes him out.
I'd love to just have a counter for how many times Aspas has been holding an angle ready to fight and a pop flash gets him.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I know they've got a lot of flashes, but even still, it always seems to be in the right place to just cause issues for him. I think credit to Cruz and Bam for that. I want credit again for them to hold the line, because that could have got dangerous. Like, you had Annihilation online for Mazzino. If this gets into like even a 2v2 scenario or even like a little bit less, he's going to be able to isolate one of those fights and potentially battle back, but they are so controlled and calm.
It's been a very strong performance for Talon. You know, you just mentioned that, yeah, they have a lot of flashes. In the last round, they didn't even use any of Ban's. He was on the flank. So, like, the thing is, even in rounds where they're only firing 1 or 2, they're hitting their mark every single time. They're putting LEV on the back foot. It's been an impressive game so far, and I have to say, I'll be the first to put my hands up and say I underestimated Talon coming into this tournament. We know their upset potential, but someone like Primi delivering this level of play is unfathomable. LEV have taken a bit of control. We've seen this a couple of times in Americas. They're putting their trap outside A, stopping any aggressive peeks. Again, if you're going to peek that, you're going to do it with a flash. You're not going to shift walk it. You're going to swing it. That's when the trap's going to get you.
Oh.
Nice shot by Tex. Well, that's the man that you need to take down. And the best part is he can't bring himself back to life.
Yeah, no matter how many kills he gets. Oh, he's going to get caught. Annihilation utilized. There's nobody even remotely close to try and deny that one from happening. That's an easy kill for Mazzino. A lot of the time that ult will go astray. Governor rotating into position, but they're going to be revealed. Jip Boys is going to try and catch a timing, and he has done just that, but he doesn't get anything for it. The movement too good. The pop flash is great, but so is the net. Well, Governor, it's going to be the same again. Good round from King. LEV extend their lead just as Talon start to get a little bit too close.
Big round for Mazzino's Deadlock. You're seeing some of the potential, not just in the obviously Annihilation getting a kill, the fact that you have the net then trapping the player who can't evade and get back into the smoke or even use his movement, but the fact that you have the trap outside A as well, it just means that in the back of their mind, they're relatively safe. Obviously, there's always the potential for what we saw, which was Jip Boys running it down, making it behind them. But
how many times have we seen Ban full blind someone and then immediately die? I know that this is an occasion where it's like, okay, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
But it's like, even with Aspas blind upping him a couple of times, like, it's got to be, like, he obviously won't have too much of an idea, but it's got to be really irritating.
It definitely gets spooky, though, when you saw Jip's
thing trap plays. So I have no doubt they have plenty of depth and ideas. But once the streak is broken, I think it's a good time to take a pause from Frost and just go, okay, this is where we know that LEV are going to go, okay, well, we've just done it off this. We were patient, we were controlled, we took our time, we didn't fall into any of the traps. We can now just sort of like push off of this moment. So he wants to try and deny that, get his players' heads back in the game, because up until this point, the defensive side has looked great from them.
Oh, absolutely. One bump in the road. Let's see if it's going to shake Talon, or if they can get right back into the rhythm. Early peek from the operator of Ban. The same can be said for Aspas. He's looking for a mistake to be made. Nobody on the A site. Talon playing much further back. And they will be ready for this short push. LEV just about to walk around the corner, and it's a clean shot from Ban. Although the Hunter's Fury is activated, looking for some victims. Nice kill coming in from Jip Boys. The numbers stay favored for Talon. And they've got the control. They've got control with the wall inside B main, but they've rotated fully, leaving that side of the map open.
Yeah, it's mainly middle where the biggest threat will be. I think the timing from Primi is pretty much perfect. I mean, he knows when that wall is going to break, makes his way back into the site before anybody could possibly get through. The only problem is middle, and there you go. It's been completely abandoned. Governor will fall, puts things back into an even scenario and puts the pressure back onto this young man again. 14 seconds left, they've dashed past, but he's repositioned, looking to hold the line, and Aspas obliterates him. Not this time. 2 remain to try and pull this back for Talon.
Oh, they're still going to try it. Cruz ult not that useful here realistically, and with Jip Boys walking it through, the flash was there to fight out of the smoke. They didn't expect someone to be in it, and running through his own nade. Cruz going to try to make it work. You can see it, the writing on the wall. It could have been the play. Instead, Leviathan push up to 11, now 2 away from taking the series 2-0. And that scoreline won't represent how close this has been. But for Talon, it's not over yet. They've still got the credits on most players. They can get a buy-up and try to stop them here.
Tex again, that missed the impact. Every single time he's just finding a gap, finding a spot, and well, Aspas just jumping into the site. I love the way that Cruz's brain works, though. I made jokes in the last map with his TPs, but the fact he throws a fragment down, jumps into it,
flashes,
and then flashes because you don't expect somebody to go pushing through their own utility, just using timings in the moment to try and catch people off guard. And he did. The flash was sublime.
He almost had it.
Yeah.
Well, shots were close. Not close enough. 11 to 8.
The ults are scary here. Like, you've got yourself that Hunter's Fury for calm. I feel like it always has impact, like almost every single time. Like, the guy is so good at putting it into play at the perfect moment. And also, they're waiting with the operator. As you said, there is that sensor, there's the sound. You're not just going to dry peek that. And so Aspas immediately has the information and has the protection. If they were to actually try and push that, they're going to be dead.
I think in a normal fight they would be. Add to that the stun for sure. I like Ban's position. A nice try. The shot doesn't quite connect. Paranoia forces him back. He's got support though. Cruz is holding it from the side. He's been spotted. Mazzino needs to decide whether he wants to commit to this, and it looks like he does. Caught Cruz. Down he goes. Can be revived, but the time's starting to run out and no one close enough to do so. That's a player down.
Doing it again.
Leviathan 5 versus 4 with control over the A site. But yeah, Jip Boy's had some serious success here in catching them off. He couldn't find the kills, but this time it's different.
It's only going to be the one though. And then that's the problem. It almost seems too little too late. There's going to be Aspas just executing Primi, and he wants a little bit more. Feeling it at this point. Plant will finally come in, but look, the wall is blocking off another. And Aspas just holding onto the angle. Got so much still to play with Jip Boys. Well, he's going to try and bring himself back from the dead, and he will. But they're just running away from him. They're avoiding him. They want him to try and make a play through this, and in the meantime, Aspas just still holding on to heaven. That's where Jip Boys will be sent as well. 12-8, 1 needed. Again, Talon have been competing, but Leviathan, they've been the ones weathering the storm.
And now the real problem, those credits are low. Light shields, guardians, weaker weapons are going to come into play. Mazzino's pick, beautiful. This leaves the A side open, allows them to swing without worrying about the side itself. The fact that he wins that is slightly ridiculous, and, well, stuck around but didn't show himself. So eventually, Governor got a little distracted. Hell of a turnaround as well. Governor, you can see, on that duelist on Neon, he was unbelievable. Now, a little bit more of a struggle there. That can be said for the squad of Talon as well. 4 chances to close this out. Hunter's Fury still there for Calm, but Ban has his own ultimate.
Oh,
see where this goes.
They've caught him with the net.
It's
That's
done.
so disgusting. The combinations that this team are pulling out. Jipwood didn't stand a chance in hell. He's crouched in a corner, just waiting for death. I love the way that they're utilizing this deadlock. And well, Ban, they're just gonna wait. They're gone. And a nice ult, bud.
Well, at least he gets to run it back. Another chance.
They could have walked it back.
Leviathan, you're making me a Deadlock fan, and I almost hate you for it. And there's some serious ideas behind this squad. Talon as well. They've been interesting, but here is their final stand, potentially. Already 1 man down. Aspa scraps Cruz on the quick blitz. Mazzino follows up as well. Governor and Primi, 2 big players in the last map. And for this squad now have it all to do. 5 players to take down, 3 more rounds after. It's not an easy feat, and it's left just to this man. He's shy of an ace. 4 more kills needed to lock it in, to close this round, and then look for 3 more. It's a long road back. And it looks like Leviathan have done it. The time ticking away, and 3-man firing squad waiting for the swing. It's done. America's #1 for a reason. Leviathan take it 2-0.
Yeah, I think an incredible performance from either side. Like, honestly, I think we